Jewel 2024 has been the best version of this event yet. This is not your regular review where guys jump on the mic for 25 minutes and tell you everything that happened in the event step by step. I'll talk about my favorite moments, my understanding of the shows, my takeaways, my opinion, and who I believe were losers and winners of Crown Jewel 2024. So let's kick off this video talking about the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. The OG Bloodline being back together brought us back to the prime time of the Bloodline, not because they are back together, but because we are back to those times where Roman had no control over Jey Uso. The only difference now is that Jey Uso is not only just a twin or half of a tag team. Jey Uso is his equal. We seen in the beginning of the match how he played back and forth, Jay telling him, I'll start the match. Roman's like, you go ahead. Then when Roman wanted the tag, he gave Jimmy the tag instead. And even Jimmy was like, bro, what's going on here? That was Jay being Jay, reminding Roman, I am my own man now. We are equals. You are not my tribal chief. I am not your right-hand man. Roman Reigns was massively over. And Jey Uso had the whole crowd singing and yeeting. Even though they were offbeat, they were still yeeting. They are also letting us know that they are not putting Jay and Jimmy back into a tag team situation. Maybe they will have a tag team match here and there, but I don't see a tag team championship run anytime soon. The fact that Jimmy came in with his tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and Jay had his own entrance through the crowd, as we now are accustomed of seeing Jay doing, is letting us know these guys are not a tag team. So that one graphic I made that went kind of viral is not far-fetched. Can you imagine if this time around the OG Bloodline are all dipped in singles gold? Sami Zayn will be somewhat of a slow burn, but we gotta keep in mind we only got 4 weeks until Survivor Series. So this is gonna have to be microwave and not oven roasted, which means I give it 2 weeks tops for Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn to make up. Now on the other hand, Solo Sikoa solidified himself as the tribal chief. Pinning Roman Reigns is an achievement, but pinning Roman Reigns clean is an accomplishment. But other than solidifying Solo, it's a clear statement that as a team, the new Bloodline work better and are doing and are better than the OGs. It also serves as a reminder to Roman Reigns that a lot of the time that he won, it was because of Solo. Now the match itself was a little slower than it needed to be, but in my opinion this match wasn't about the wrestling. This match was about the drama, the cinema, and something that I thought I would never say when it comes to any Saudi event. It was about advancing the story, and we got just that. This match became the platform for the War Games at Survivor Series. Between Solo pinning Roman and Sami's arrival, the beef between Jay and Roman, Jacob looking like he could single-handedly beat everybody in that ring. The Bloodline is without a doubt the best storyline in WWE on the road to Survivor Series, if not the best storyline in WWE history. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about the match? Do you also see it the way I see it? And do you think that Solo was the bigger winner in this whole Bloodline situation coming out of Crown Jewel? Another big match, another big loss for Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins could be argued as one of the best match of the night, but one thing they won without a doubt was the best dressed match of the night. First off, Bronson Reed with that MF Doom tights. Come on, bro. That joint was clean. And Seth Rollins rocking the Space Jams. Trust me, my sneakerheads out there were like, yes, Seth, thank you very much. That was enough for me. Now, Bronson shouldn't have lost this match. While Seth is cemented in this business and sport, a win for Bronson Reed would have added much value to the product, especially after losing to Strowman. Reed should have bounced back, won this match, and go on a run. As I mentioned before, even if Seth would have come back and won on a rematch, it would have been better and it would have cemented Bronson Reed as a monster heel by winning that initial match. Because honestly, right now it's hard to say whether there is going to be a rematch. Right after this match, Seth was announced to be part of the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. If the plan is to have Bronson interfere to cost Seth the opportunity, it will be a little bit too repetitive. There has to be a way for Bronson to get a second chance at Seth Rollins and win the biggest match in his career. Because otherwise, we're back to square one, where he needs to rebuild and regrow the momentum that he had going into Crown Jewel. Wearing a Cowboy Bob Orton t-shirt, Kevin Owens' heel turn reached a power level over 9,000.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
I predicted that this match was gonna have to be stopped, and I was wrong, because this match didn't even start. I was so fucking hype watching this match. This type of brutality and violence has been missing in the WWE for a very long time, and I can already tell you that this feud between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton is gonna be as intense and as entertaining as CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Bro, Randy Orton was great, but Kevin felt like a legit main event heel again. And though some people are questioning and saying that this heel turn from Kevin came out of nowhere, you are completely wrong. This has been cooking for the last 3 years. For over 3 years of Kevin battling the Bloodline, siding with friends like Sami and Cody, who then side with his mortal enemies, the Bloodline. And when he finally felt he found someone who could understand him, someone who he can relate with, he take Cody's side, and in his eyes, that was a bigger betrayal. But those details are for another video that you can bet your ass I'm working on. I'm really into this Kevin Owens and Randy Orton feud. I think people are sleeping on this, and the fact that not many people are as hype for this feud is irritating. As for KO versus Randy, I can see their first match happen in a Survivor Series, and it has to be some sort of no disqualification match or some stipulation like that. But one thing I can tell you is I cannot wait to see it. Gunther losing at Crown Jewels proves that the champion versus champion match was a fucking mistake. Don't get me wrong, other than when Sami came out to help the Bloodline, this was the time that the crowd was going crazy. They were definitely enjoying every second of this match. They were definitely in for this match. Man, that crowd was hot. But just like the other champion versus champion match, it never felt like a championship match. It felt like an exhibition match that took us back to what Crown Jewel really is, which is a glorified episode of WWE with no advancement in storylines, nothing but a stain in Gunther's career moving forward. In the build to Crown Jewel, Gunther made a little fun of Bret Hart, and it was kind of crazy to see that Gunther lost to one of Bret Hart's signature reversals. It's crazy how perception works. If Gunther would have won, it would have been a historic moment that people will have give him credit, and the fans will have said this loss means nothing to Cody. But this was not the case, because Cody walked out with the win. There is already this idea that the World Heavyweight Championship doesn't carry the same weight as the WWE title does. Gunther being out wrestled and beaten clean by Cody Rhodes turns this idea into a fucking fact. A fact that the World Heavyweight Champion can't even be the face of the company in a non-canon episode of WWE. And let's also not ignore that Gunther is one of the best in-ring performers and competitors of this era, and have built this reputation before becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. Cody getting this clean win over Gunther not only stains Gunther's career, but also Sami's card as the only man who have been able to beat Gunther. This is a card that WWE can no longer use. They could always use that to fall back if they ever need a moment where we don't know what to do with Gunther right now. Sami has been the only person to beat him. Now WWE cannot fall on that card anymore. All I can say is I didn't like the idea. As much as I don't like the idea of Goldberg returning or Brock Lesnar returning, that would have been even a better move than having Cody win the way he did. this could have not only solidified Gunther as a champion, but put the World Heavyweight title over or prestige it to somewhat a level close to the WWE title, where people look at it and believe, okay, these champions are equal. But all that was done here was a reminder that the WWE title is way more important than the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm gonna end this by saying that the next few people that face Gunther for the World Heavyweight title will be nothing but sacrificial lamb. They will have to be sacrificed to re-establish his position as the top guy on Monday Night Raw as the World Heavyweight Champion. So as I said in the beginning of the video, Crown Jewel 2024 has been the best version of Crown Jewel yet. From the presentation to the crowd involvement to finally using Crown Jewel to advance some of the storylines was great to see. Some of the choices they made weren't that great, but I did enjoy the show. I did like the show. It was a good solid 7-match show where 6 matches were good, with one not living up to the expectations, which is Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. But I didn't go into the show expecting perfection. But I want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on Crown Jewel 2024? Let's talk about it, because that's what you follow me for, or should follow me.